Elizabeth, it's so great to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to share your experience here. So I think people that watch this video would love to know that you're a real person. I'm not paying you. You're somebody who did the course. You're somebody who had
Yes.
your own challenges. So yeah, just to start nice and easy here. Whatever you're comfortable sharing is wonderful. Again, it's just another person saying, hey, there's another option if you're going through a tough time and you're going through
Yep.
counseling and therapy, these classic routes. There might be something else worth exploring. So anyway, thank you so much
Exactly.
for taking the time to share your experience here. So, Elizabeth, what brought you my way?
What brought me Lance's way was I had recently been broken up with over the telephone by a gentleman that I dated for a year. And I knew I didn't want to keep going into relationships like that. And there was a program on somehow on my Facebook feed that showed up about how to feel better in 3 days. And to me, the small amount of time, so I wouldn't have to have that kind of pain for so long, because I've always carried pain for a long time in the past. So I decided to check into this program, and so I filled out the information, and then I got a text message like immediately. I was
Pretty,
kind of
pretty quickly.
yeah, yeah,
Pretty
it was
quickly.
quickly. It was that same night, and I was trying to get into the program or get some information, the free consultation before I got to see this gentleman again in person. But I wasn't going to be able to have the free consultation prior to that. But I got a text message pretty quickly and late at night, odd hour, and I thought it was an AI generated text. I really did. And so I did my investigative work. I'm a paralegal by trade. And so I texted back trying to test this out. And it was a live person. It was Lance, who's right here, right now. Hi, Lance.
Yeah.
And he was able to get me in to a consultation prior to where I was going to see that gentleman again that we had just recently broken up.
Because you sound like a very serious person. You didn't sound like you're son. I get so many of these requests a day, and some people are just in la la land. When just from our early interactions, Elizabeth, it was clear to me that you understood, you got it, you were serious, you had a sense of
Yep.
urgency. I mean, I will definitely take a lot more seriously somebody who shows those kind of traits here. Not everybody does, but you did.
Oh,
So that's yeah.
yeah. And I was impressed that it was a live person, because on the other end, and that he took the time out, and it was an odd hour in the night. So he's a night owl is all I gotta say.
But
So
for anyone out there, if you make a request on refocusonhappiness.com/now and you get a message, it is not some AI, it's not an assistant, it is me. I am directly texting you. And you'll understand that it is something I'm messaging you personally here. At the end of the day, it's my program and I want to make sure I'm lining up with the right people. And I also make sure that people are not taking time on the calendar, wasting my time. I mean, there is only one of me. You have to appreciate that. So, and for a lot of people out there, AI is a real thing. So I do want to make sure when I get a request, it really is a real person.
yes, exactly.
But yeah,
So that's
continue.
what brought me to the program.
Awesome. So you and I had a conversation. We spoke a little in advance here, and and yeah, you were pretty straightforward about what you're working through. You didn't want to be in this, this. You want to make sure this challenging situation is what it is. And by the way, this is great for everyone here. Um, at the end of the day, this is a biological process, not a magic trick here. Most people I speak to have been going through these challenges, these patterns for years. I can't undo everything. If you've been going through this for 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever age that person, for you people in the future that I might speak to here, I can't undo that in one fucking week. But what I can do is get you real momentum in the way you feel even the first week. And who gives a shit about concepts? You want to feel better, faster, quicker, stronger. That's what I always tell people. In the first week, do what I put in front of you. You'll start having an experience that is indisputable. I'm not saying I solve everything, but if 100 pounds was the analogy of your starting point, great. I'll get you to 110 as far as your emotional strength. So anyway, you and I had a conversation. Again, you were pretty straightforward about your situation, that this is important to you, and you took a leap of faith. And I get it. I know as a stranger to you, Elizabeth, it's not every day we have these kind of conversations here. So let me ask you, and I'm curious too here. When we spoke, look, this is not for many people. This is not cheap. You are putting your faith in somebody's hands that really is, someone you don't know very well here. What was it about our conversation, or I don't know, maybe you came across something on my YouTube page, or I don't know, But what was it that made you decide when we spoke that this was for you?
I did look you up on YouTube, and I was able to think about it overnight. And what made me decide about it was I only have another quarter of my life to live. And the amount that I paid was worth every penny for the skills that I've gained that I'm going to use for the rest of my life. And worth every penny. That's what I tell everybody, worth every penny. A lot of people will ask me, well, how much is it? My first answer is
Well,
that's his
don't tell them that there's many options. I don't want anyone to be like,
this is what I'm
there's more
saying.
expensive options, there's cheaper options.
Oh no, I say this is his livelihood, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what I paid, but I will tell you it was worth every penny that I paid. And I do say that you do have different levels,
Yeah.
but I did what was best for me, and I would never mess with your livelihood. Like I think that's not right.
So for anyone listening here, let me just kind of chime in here a little bit here. I have a full program. I call the premium 6-week refocus on happiness premium option. That's the full red carpet experience. We're talking all the time. I mean, there's lots and lots of coaching. And unlike any, it's a true one and done. I don't have a second program. It's one program. And we'll give you a real foundation you can grow with, evolve with for life. So in the full premium one, that's the red carpet experience, so to speak, meaning that you're fully immersed in the program here. But for everyone listening here, I love what I do. I'm always happy to open up doors. I got different options, and the way I do it's not a magic trick either here. I have what I call a basic version of the program, where basically you can do a cheaper version. It's the same thing, but you have less coaching, less handholding. So it's cheaper in exchange for less handholding. And that one, I even let people do a partial version where you can just do part of it. And for the record, I'm entitled to my opinion. I believe that even if you did a fraction of the program, basically even the first week or first module full program, I would put that up against anything on planet Earth from a feel better, faster, quicker perspective. So I do allow people to do a cheaper, even a partial version. And I don't have to pressure people to stage the game here. I'm happy to connect with anyone at the level they're open to doing here. I mean, like you do tend to get paid for the full premium options. You're going to move 10 times faster further simply because we're talking more, right? That's just common sense. You're getting more feedback. But even the basic one, the cheaper options, I'm always happy to offer that to people if they are truly serious and they make it easy to work with them. But I do have different options. So for everyone out there, well, you go across the application form. I mean, I'm going to always try to, inspire people to go all in and do it the right way the first time. But I'm more than happy to work with people at every level, any level that you're open to doing. And I do appreciate, and Elizabeth, you didn't have this here, but we do live in a world of skepticism, right? I mean, everyone's is so fucking quick to label people as a con artist, a oil snake salesman. It's like I don't have any problem earning someone's trust. For anyone out there, again, if you are action oriented, you have a real sense of urgency, you're ready to be your own hero, and you make it easy to work with you, I have different lower price options. So Elizabeth did the full premium option. If you can't do that, that's fine. I have some options that I'll still get you a great outcome, maybe not quite the same level as Elizabeth because we spoke all the time. It's different, but I'll still get you something that I'll put up against anything you consider. And listen, in life, I know we all want Ferraris, but a BMW 3 Series is not a bad car.
I
So,
know.
so anyway, most important thing is get started. We all deserve the right to have a great life and not be in this emotional purgatory and get the fuck out of there. So for everyone out there, I have different options. All I ask is you're serious about this and you don't waste my time. I will certainly not waste yours. So anyway, Elizabeth, I had to chime in there again. But yeah, so once we started, what was your experience like? Was it how would you say the first week? Yeah, how would you describe your experience the first couple of weeks?
Um, my experience was with the tools that I was given and the hands-on, I was feeling better, quicker. That's so long as I stuck with the program, which I have. I've stuck with the program. There's only been a couple of days that maybe I didn't do something that I felt I should have done as hard, like the workout.
Yeah,
But
don't go into the
but
details only because I don't want people to think they can somehow figure this out themselves by this video here. But
sorry.
yeah, as far as the workout, the process I teach, continue.
Yeah, the process. Yeah, the process. Um, no, it was great from the very beginning, from starting out, and I felt very positive, and um I wouldn't go back. I would never even go even to therapy ever. I wouldn't go to therapy. I don't even think therapy's worth it. Mm-mm. And I've been to therapy in the past, and I would go in there and I'd be like, this is the same thing over and over and over again. And you're not telling me anything I don't already know. So no, no more therapy.
Fuck that, right?
Yeah, I've had that in the past, and I don't need it. And I don't need anybody to tell me that I need therapy. They need to worry about themselves.
Yep.
So
Good. I'll make a comment there for anyone listening here. And listen, me just being straightforward with you here, you were very easy. I mean, I've had some really tough people. And for anyone out there, you watch some of my other videos, I've had some people in some really dark, dark places. Elizabeth, you were super easy compared to some people I work with here. So I'm just going to just chime in here. For anyone listening here, this is not an easy process here. It's fun, it's enjoyable once you get into it, but maybe not so much the first week here. Elizabeth is probably one of the the easier echelon of people I work with. She had a great foundation to start. You know, she had a great attitude. Um, I do work with some people where it is a little harder. I can appreciate. I'm sure some of you all can appreciate. Some people do start in a lower place, right? So this is not necessarily an easy process here. And some people I do have to work a little harder with them. So on that note, I will say something that's a little relevant for everyone else here listening. Um, for people out there, Elizabeth, that know that maybe they're starting off a little lower, I think what's important for them to know is how available I am. Whenever you needed me, how quickly would you hear from me?
oh, immediately. I mean, he does have days off, like anybody needs days off, but he is constant, easy to access.
Mhm.
I've never even after I was done with the program, I've been able to access him. He's awesome. Lance is awesome.
I'm doing the best I can. So I wanted Elizabeth to answer that for everyone listening here because I mean Elizabeth was again super super easy. That I would say the average person does have some significant challenges during the program. That were I kind of work. I have to work a little harder with that person here. So I do want to make sure everyone here that's listening here, this is not a magic trick. I don't promise unicorns or birds chirping flying over your head when you wake up in the morning here. Some of you that I do work with do have some challenges along the way here. What you'll start to appreciate in this process here is even if you have a week or two where we're working together, it's a little hard, it won't be as hard as it would have been without me doing this process here. I'm here to really free everyone here and teach them a way that, hey, listen, even if you have a challenging week, it won't be as challenging. I like my analogy. So one of my favorite analogies, I'll tell people, think of yourself as a professional athlete in the sport of life. Professional athletes still get tired. Professional athletes still get sore. And never forget, behind every top professional athlete, there's a really pain in the ass number two that pushes that athlete to greatness. A top athlete does not disacknowledge challenges. They simply acknowledge they did the best they've ever done in such a challenge. So Elizabeth, relatively speaking, was one of my easier clients, but I will have people from time to time. And if you watch enough of my videos, you know this to be true here. I do have some people that do start in a pretty low place, and I do have to work a little harder with them simply because of where they're starting, relatively speaking. But for those of you out there, they're in a really tough place here. You give me 100%, I'll give you a fucking 1,000%. I will do what I need to do to get you where you need to go because I know where this goes. If you have a good attitude and you're consistent, ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm a different kind of personal trainer, and like Elizabeth would tell you, I bring people to a different kind of gym. Ultimately, you and I will be co-creators. I got the process. People like Elizabeth are the ones who does it. So even though I want to make sure for anyone listening here, Elizabeth was a little bit more of the exception. She just was very easy to work with. Some of you have a great attitude, but just again, you're starting from a lower place here. So I want to be clear here. Some people that I do work with do have some challenges along the way. That's okay. What you'll appreciate is a really challenging time. Like I have someone who's getting divorced after being married for 20, 30 years. That is going to be tough, but I'm here to help you through it and here to help you do a hell of a lot better than it would have been normally. So I do think it's important that people know that I'm fully here, fully available. I mean, I do take vacation days and I do have a life too, but yeah, I'm here to work really hard with you together. If you have a great attitude and you're ready to work hard, like I said, at the end of the day, this is a very practical 30-minute 3-0 process you will do every day, every day, every day, because it's fucking worth it. Okay, Elizabeth, continue. I just want to chime in there because Elizabeth, you were super easy. You're a little bit more of the exception than the rule.
I guess I'm glad to hear that. I am a widow, and I did go through that process. Um, so, but I will tell you that this program has also helped me realize, like, I have that's just it's a chapter in my life. I wish I had this program back whenever Preston passed away. I think I would have gotten through the grieving process a lot quicker, but it took me 5 years. So, which is a long time. That's a long time out of my life.
Can I make a comment to that, Elizabeth? Is that okay?
Yeah.
This is also great. I love this conversation here. For everyone listening here, this is for everything. You might come to me for relationships, and I have tons of people that are going through dealing with the loss of a loved one. It's all wiring. It's all emotional. I can absolutely help you with that. I'm not, so anyway, bottom line is at the end of the day, you want to feel fucking good. It doesn't matter what that reason is. Loss of a loved one, breakup, work challenges. It's all fucking wired. When you are literally wired to feel better, bounce back quicker, you can handle anything better. And I do mean anything. And for anyone out there that is going through currently or recently a loss of a loved one, do not forget that person who's passed on loves you. They want you to enjoy yourself. They don't want you to suffer for even fucking 2 seconds today. They are I mean, I'm not trying to be religious or spiritual with anyone here, but if you do believe in something greater, they are looking at you from above and they want you to enjoy your fucking day. So question for everyone out there. Why are we so quick to encourage people? Oh, it's going to be a really tough year for you, Jennifer, Bill. Grieving takes fucking years here. The science of neuroplasticity says otherwise. And if that person you love that loves you wants you to have a great fucking day, you have every bit permission that if there is a different option to explore it. And for everyone here, I'm giving you the opportunity to explore. There is another option if you really want to feel better. Because make no mistake, that person that loves you, that's looking at you from above, wants you to enjoy today. So I highly invite anyone here that is going through, forget even breakups, you're going through a grieving process, you lost a loved one, let's have a conversation. I'll show you there's a way that you might be surprised how much you could accelerate. And just know, don't feel bad about that, because that person who loves you, if they really love you, they want you to enjoy. They want you to celebrate their life, not fucking grieve them. Anyway.
Right. And also challenges at work, right? And I recently had a major challenge at work. And if it wasn't for this program and Lance, I would have been losing it. Absolutely. I could just tell that I'm in a better place today than I would have prior to the program. If that makes any.
It does make sense. Can I chime in there too? I mean, again, this is such a great conversation because I want everyone to kind of really understand that there's, again, a better way, let's just say a different option here. It's all fucking wiring, whether it's a business challenge, relationship challenge, friendship, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you have that emotional resiliency, you bounce back quicker. Like an athlete on the bench, all athletes have to take a little time to rest, but professional athletes can get off the bench a lot quicker. So no matter what that challenge is, no matter what the source is, I'm going to give you the chance to get off that bench a lot quicker and get back out there and do what you got to do, whether it's work, business, whatever that happens to be here. I have tons of people who do this from a business perspective alone here. Tons of people have tons of, they're rock stars when they do, and they want to be able to enjoy their work and business a lot. They want to have a lot more enjoyability to it and to get a lot more resiliency in that aspect of their life. This is for everything. So regardless of what you're coming to this for originally, make no mistake, there will be overarching cascading impacts in everything you do. When you have more of a spring in your step, you show up in life just a lot better across the board. You make better decisions, you have better conversations. I mean, it's for everything, ultimately. For everyone here.
And friendships too. Friendships where if you are the type of person that would let someone like you, where you're a giver, and you didn't stand up for your boundary. Like I've recently started standing up, and someone even said, ever since your life coach, I'm trying to ever since your life coach, you're different than you used to be, Elizabeth. And I'm like thinking, yeah, that's because I'm telling you what I expect in our relationship. And that particular person isn't reciprocating to it too well. Which is okay.
Can I make a comment there?
And that's okay with me.
Good. So for everyone listening here, don't think you're just watch this fucking video and be able to do what Elizabeth does here. Anybody can have expectations, thoughts, or boundaries, or whatever you call it. You can't speak how you don't feel. You can't be strong on the outside if you're weak on the inside. This is about having a real process, conditioning emotional strength, so you can actually enforce those boundaries. Have those conversations without fear, knowing you're gonna be good either way. That you'll get your hand fucking raised by the end of the day. Like, either the male or female version of Captain America. It's like, I'm good regardless. When you have the emotional strength to do that, now you can have these conversations. Now you can hold these boundaries. You can't speak how you don't feel. So Elizabeth is saying here, it's not just about saying what you expect. It's about having the emotional strength that you can actually hold to it. That's everything.
Yep.
That's everything.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. That's so true. Yep.
So I got two last questions for you, Elizabeth, and thank you so much again for sharing. And again, this has been such a great back and forth here. You're hitting on so many, ends of the spectrum here. So, two last questions. How do you feel about your life now, as far as challenges and the future? How do you feel about your life now with what you've learned?
I I make sure that I'm happy every day, no matter what's going on. And in life, there's going to be a lot of different things coming at you. I have a job where I meet a lot of people, and different emotions can be happening at all times. I'm in the airline industry, and so you can have positive people, negative people. You just need to know how to. Nobody bothers me. It doesn't even matter the challenges. Even coworkers, they don't bother me. I just stay in a beautiful state of mind, no matter what. No matter what. Now, there are times where like I was losing it. I had a very difficult position at work recently, and I immediately texted Lance, and I'm like, I need to talk to you. This is a challenging time, major. Um, but I worked through it, and like 2 days later, I was laying in my bed where normally in the past, with this, if something like this had happened to me, I'd be just so worried and nonstop worried. I was at peace. I was totally at peace in my bed, waking up in the morning like, I'm good, no matter what. I'm good, which that blows my mind, but that's where I'm at. So I'm great.
Awesome. Let me make a comment there again, Elizabeth. You're so awesome. Just I love your enthusiasm here. Again, I want to make sure I overmanage people's expectations here. They're considering doing this here. So again, Elizabeth is probably one of my easier clients in the last year or so. Just being straightforward, such an awesome attitude. Just I think she had a great foundation to start here. So I want to make sure this is super clear for people. It's what I teach here, this process. It's not that you necessarily feel good instantaneously no matter what. I'm not making robots here. I am certainly not a robot. I go through my own challenges. I teach this fucking process here. Like, so bottom line is it's not that you hear some news or you're in a situation and you're like, oh, I feel happy anyway. No, there's always going to be that refractory period, so to speak. You could be the strongest emotional creature, but you're still going to have that initial kind of wave of, okay, I got my cage rattled a little bit here. So it's not in this process here, it's not that you necessarily feel great no matter what, but you can get back to feeling great if you stick with the process. What I always tell people is I'll give you some specific processes. And as long as you stick with it throughout the day, I'm not saying, again, no unicorns or birds from fire in the morning. You might have certain challenges. I'm certainly not immune to those here. But if you stick with what I put in front of you, by the end of the day, you'll get your fucking hair raised and say, you know what, not too shabby considering. That's real power. That's real freedom. And that is what's on the table for anybody. It doesn't mean you instantly feel good right away, like you're good no matter what, like only a robot can really do that. Again, I would super appreciate Elizabeth's enthusiasm here, but I'll make sure it's clear for everyone here. I'm not going to make you a robot. I'm not gonna make it where you're not gonna feel certain things. You just won't stay there. So even more accurately for everyone here, I can get you back to a place where as long as you stick what I put in front of you, if you stick with it, you can get back to a powerful place no matter what. At the very least, by the end of the day, you'll notice a difference in the way you feel that is clearly better than you would have been normally. That's what we focus on. This is about consistency. But to be perfect and to not, be rattled at all by things, you'd have to be a fucking robot or, like that's not possible. So again, love, again, so happy, so grateful for your sharing your experience, Elizabeth. But for everyone here, just I want to make sure they really understand here. We're
Oh, I still have challenges.
trying to
I
feel.
still have
What's that?
I still have challenges. Yeah,
But
like
we
that
all we
one.
all do, and you always will here. We are designed as human beings to feel the full spectrum of emotions. They're there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not designed to stay in the shitty ones. That's what this.
Exactly.
So if you do what I put in front of you, you won't stay in the shitty ones. I'm not saying you won't feel that. I never said that one. You won't stay in the shitty.
Right.
Like I said, by the end of the day, be pretty fucking surprised how much better you can feel and try to get that kind of assurance from a counselor. That's not going to happen. So anyway, that's why we do this here. So last question. If you have anything, Elizabeth, that I'd love to ask, is there anything that I have not asked you that you think that may be valuable for someone else to hear? You know, there's someone out there right now that's going to listen to this, that's going through a situation just like you did. If there is someone out there that is watching this video that's going through a situation just like you, is there anything you'd want to share with them that we haven't discussed in this call?
Yeah, my biggest thing is you have to decide what are you worth? What is the rest of your life worth? And that's why I was like, I'm ready to do this, and let's see what he's got. And I am so glad. I would do it again. I have suggested Lance to many people. I have gotten his book. He's gotten me. I've gotten the book and handed it out to a couple of people. I love his book, but it's just a very small bit of what he can offer. So I suggest Lance, and I'm not. He's not paying me to say this. Mm-hmm. I think I've made a lifetime friend, I hope. And
okay, I'll get your messages for long times to come. Soon enough, I'll get an engagement ring photo or something like that. You know,
we'll see. I don't know. I'm interviewing people.
Or at the very least, you know, pictures of like, you know, yeah, you'll have some great stuff for me sooner than you think here for sure.
Yeah, I'm interviewing people. That's what I call it. So I am definitely different than I used to be. And I love where I'm at now. I wouldn't change a thing. Would not change a thing. And I'll be better tomorrow than I am today. And that's what I love about this.
Awesome. So what a great little crescendo at the end here. This is great for everyone here. What are you worth? Like, you know, the biggest regret in life for any of you listening here, the biggest regret in life is knowing there was a better way, but you failed to act. We tend to regret the things we did not do. If you were 18 years of age and you're going to college, I know not everyone goes that route here, but I like my analogies here. If you were going to college and you had a chance to go to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, like the best of the best versus a local state school, look, there's no fucking guarantees in this life, you know, like, but there are things that will shift the odds in your favor. Do you really believe you are worthy and deserving of the best life has to offer? It's a simple yes or no. And the way you treat yourself is the way people are going to treat you. If you treat yourself like some kind of second-class citizen, then you can't really be surprised when people don't value the level you deserve here. Do you really love yourself to give yourself the best life has to offer? Feel free to research as much as you want about coaches, therapists, and counselors. Ask yourself a simple question. Do you believe that all counselors, coaches, and therapists are the same? Do you believe there's certain people out there that can prove beyond a shadow of a fucking doubt they are levels beyond the general? If you believe that, and you should, because we all know that education, there's different levels in Harvard versus local state school. It is what it is. A Harvard graduate tends to get better opportunities in local state school. So if in this area you're going through a tough time and you come across somebody that is making it obvious this is quite a few levels beyond the other options, don't you think you're worthy of that? Yes or no? But be warned, how you treat yourself is going to really have some implications as far as how people treat you. If you don't think you're worthy of the best life has to offer, you really can't be surprised if people are not valuing you. This is your opportunity right here and now to treat yourself like the treasure you are. I'm not saying I'm for you or for everyone here, but what I am saying is you owe to yourself to ask yourself a simple question. Who is the best? Who is the person that I feel has the best chance to shift the odds in my favor? Once you find that person, maybe it's me, maybe it's not. But if you find that person, you owe to yourself to go all out for yourself. That's what Elizabeth is saying in short here. Because you tend to regret the things not to. Treat yourself like a treasure. People will treasure you sooner than you think here. Last thing here, Elizabeth didn't mention a book. I do have a book on Amazon called Refocus on Power. The book is fucking awesome for what it is, but it is just a book. I'm not talking back to you. It's a different experience here. Do not be cheap with yourself. There's some of you out there that are wickedly smart here, and some ways that has hindered you. The only way to really get to where you want to go, like again, I like my analogies here. You want to become a professional tennis player? You can't watch videos. You can't read books. You need fucking Andre Agassi or Serena Williams right in front of you. You just can't see yourself the way that that other people see you here. You need those course corrections. You need that feedback. You are not going to read your way to the winner's circle. Not even fucking close. The book is just a book. It's a glimpse. It does not hold a candle to doing the program. If you want to start there, I don't have any problem earning your trust, but that will open up your eyes. But it will not give you feedback. The book does not hold a fucking candle to doing the program. It is what it is. But if you want to start there, great. But you should start with a book with the idea that if that opens up your eyes that you've been missing quite a bit here, you're going to want to have a personal conversation with me. On that note, to close here, for anyone here, you want to get a little bit more information about the program, the process I teach here, feel free to go to my website, refocusonpower.com. On there, there's a link to the self-study, which again is just a kind of a glimpse here. There's also a link to speak to me here. If you'd like to have a personal conversation, all I ask is you are truly serious about this here, not just curious. You are looking to invest in yourself now. If you want just to research, just go to my website, go to my YouTube channel. But if you are serious and you're ready to pull the trigger as far as making a real move to change your life, better your life, invest in yourself, wonderful. Go to refocusonhappiness.com, refocusonhappiness.com/now. You can book a call. After you book that, you'll have an opportunity to fill out an application form. Please take that very seriously. I will take you as seriously as you take the process here. And once I get that, I will reach out to you quicker than you think here. And just know when I text you, it is not some kind of advanced AI. It is me messaging you directly, okay? Anyway, Elizabeth, thank you so much for sharing your story. Really appreciate you. And yeah, such a great conversation here. And for everyone else, yeah, I really hope to hear from you soon. And have a great day, everyone. Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.